Hi everyone, and welcome to Agape Book Club. I am so excited to talk about the May book, the last one at the wedding. So I will talk about what I can talk about without doing spoilers, and then I will give you a countdown to when I'm going to go into the spoilers. So first off, I went ahead and colored in the last one at the wedding, and I have not put a rate on it because I will release that at the end. And then I have created the new June, July, and August ones. So you can find those on my Ko-fi for free if you would like. Okay. All right, so we are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to, first off, look, I got so much stuff here. Let me see if I have, let me pull this out. I pull this out when I'm done and all of that. I want to see if I have really quick the whole, what did I do with the description of it? Oh, you know what? I got papers underneath my binder. That's where it is. Oh, man. Yeah, right here with Shade's budget. I just show that off. She's got some freebie colors and saves that she has on her Ko-fi if you want some. I like to color. I was coloring and watching TV with those, but sometimes if I'm listening to a book because I don't have time to read it, and I'm waiting on something, I'll just color or whatever. So those are always nice to have. Let's see. That has nothing to do with book. All right. So, the last one at the wedding was, let's see. It has an award on Goodreads. I know that. I think it's a 2024 award. But the genre is thriller, suspense, mystery, psychological thriller, psychological fiction. Frank Sosowski is shocked when his daughter Maggie calls him for the first time in 3 years. He was convinced that their estrangement would become permanent. He's even more surprised when she invites him up to her upcoming wedding in New Hampshire. Frank is ecstatic and determined to finally make things right. He arrives to find that the wedding is at, come on, Greta, words, is at a private estate, very secluded, very luxurious, very much out of his league. It seems that Maggie failed to mention that she was marrying Aiden Gardner, the son of a famous tech billionaire. Feeling desperately out of place. I cannot today. Frank focuses on reconnecting with Maggie and getting to know her new family. But it's difficult. Aiden is withdrawn and evasive. Maggie doesn't seem to have time for him, and he finds that the locals are disturbingly hostile to the Gardners. Frank needs to know more about his family. His daughter is marrying into, but if he pushes too hard, he can lose Maggie forever. An edge-of-your-seat thriller that delves deep into the heart of one family, the last one at the wedding. Good Lord, is a work of brilliant suspense from a true modern master. I think I burnt my brain out already. Katie, my daughter, sometimes says that I have one brain cell, so just saying. All right, so I'll put those over here. Okay, let's get into non-spoiler alerts. Just some of the reviews when I read through them, getting ready for this. I like to read through them and see if it brings up anything. Plus, I want to hear what other people think about it. But this guy right here, he said, now, let me tell you, I printed out 3 pages of this. So it was 6 pages long because I did 2 pages per paper. And his final thoughts were, get ready to read a book that makes you roll your eyes so much you'll get a headache. Yeah, I threw his away. Like 3 pages, that was a waste. Anyway, okay. So this person says, this book took a hold of me. It was well-paced and I couldn't put it down. In the vein of supernatural mysteries like Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulek, which is the author of this one, masterfully, nope, That's not the word either. You know what I'm trying to say. Grabs a narrative that explores the complexities of human nature where nothing is quite what it seems. Adults weave intricate lines or lies, and the line between good and evil blurs. All right, just making sure there was nothing on there. Okay, so I'm going to keep that. I want to keep that. All right, so I put these orange ones here so we didn't read the stuff that's spoilers. So, so after being blown away by hidden pictures, I just had to read this new offering from Jason Rekulak. I'll be honest, I wasn't completely into it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the book overall, but I was waiting for the hook to reel me in, and sadly, it missed it by a few inches. My two favorite characters were Frank and Abigail. Frank as a father is relatable. As parents, we'll do anything to protect our children and guide them down the right path. Tammy, though, ugh, what a insufferable character. All right, okay. So I saw a lot of people that did not like Tammy, but this one cracked me up. Okay, so this one said, this was kind of like my wedding, except mine lacked the murder, sexual deviancy, blackmail, and turning of a blind eye to worldly evils. I'm starting to wonder if we didn't plan well enough. And then she says, this was a page turner from start to finish. Hidden pictures. They keep bringing up his other book. This packs every bit of the same thriller punch. It was unpredictable, proposively, words are not happening today, paced, and vivid in its setting and character work. I thought it felt realistically designed, given the tone of the story. Go read it, invite it in, and start over, Greta. Go read it, invite it in like a welcomed wedding guest. She did a really good job on this, and I did not do it justice because for some reason, don't show you that. For some reason, I am not doing words properly today. It has been morning already. So I'm trying to get ready for work, and I keep having people email me or text me, and my what is this? My phone is going ding, 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 and it's Friday, and I've had such a crazy week, and I was super stressed out yesterday. So today I'm like all over the place, and probably I'm on my second cup of coffee, just saying. I'm not putting sugar in my coffee anymore because I'm on a weight loss diet. Well, a weight loss journey. But I'm doing pretty good. That's for sure. All right. So if you would like to be part of the Agape Book Club, it's free. And I'm just going to post something up on, let's see. I'm going to do a video on Monday. And that one is going to be the book introduction for June. And I will start the poll. And our poll will end on Friday the 6th for our next book. And we do a bracket. And the bracket will let you choose between the two books. Whichever one wins, the one that loses goes into the next round for another chance. And if they get wiped out twice, then we won't read that one. So that's what I'm doing this year for this. And this is my first year doing it. And so far, I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, I know there's some people who are involved with the poll. Some people have been involved with just commenting. Some people are reading the books. But no one's given me a review yet of what they think. And that's okay. I'm just going to keep doing this. And whoever likes it, likes it. And whoever doesn't like it can, doesn't have to watch the video. And they can just look over it. But I appreciate the likes and I appreciate the subscription. So if this is what you're into, I do put all my book club videos on a playlist. So it separates it from the saving challenges if you're only here for book club. All right, so I am going to count down now to 10, from 10, so we can go into the spoiler part of this. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. That had to be exciting for anybody who's cash stuffing and had to, hear counting. Though I was going the wrong way. All right. So now we're going to get into the spoiler. There was a lot more spoiler ones than there was like ones that I could talk about. So this one says, first off, let me commend the atmospheric, because words are hard today, setting of the book. I had a vivid picture of the upscale camp, Osprey Cove, in my head, and I wanted to be part of the wedding celebration so badly. The aesthetic of the place, the luxurious cottages, the overflowing drinks, the buffet, and lobster. Oh my, a peek into the glamorous life of the rich. Count me in. Well, as they say, looks can be deceiving. Although the outcome was heartbreaking, I think what Frank did in the end was a tough choice to save Maggie. I totally agree with all of that. Okay. So now let's get into another one. This one was just funny and I just wanted to read it. This person did not like them and she was horrible. She said, by the end of it, I wish they killed the guy because he's an effing insufferable along with his sister. Wow. Rude. I'm throwing that one away. That was not nice. All right. This one I thought was cute. It kind of made me think like Frank's a hero. This one said Frank and Abigail's storyline really warmed my heart. How she went from the sister's annoying foster kid to being a daughter to him was so heartwarming. I agree with that. That was an interesting relationship there. This one says, and speaking of like annoying, just to go back to Frank being annoyed by the foster kid, my husband has one patient. He uses it once a day. He doesn't yell and he doesn't argue, but you can see the frustration that takes over his body after his one patient. All right. So this one has funny moments like when Frank shows up to pick up his sister only to discover the foster child will accompany him. Foster knows it's a bad idea to bring her along, and at first he has no patience for her. Yep, that 100%. That's so funny. And I actually really, really enjoyed Frank's character. He was hilarious. And this person said their favorite line in the book was where Frank said, "Did you see me in there? I was like effing John Wick with those spiders." I missed one of the good ones. So this one says, first the story is told from a single point of view and a middle-aged father at that, which is isn't common in thrillers these days. I think that helped to flush out the characters and create a strong emotional father-daughter element to the story. Yet another rarity in thrillers these days. And lastly, at times, this felt like a genre mashup. Thriller meets cozy mystery. A fusion I would love to see more. This kept the book feeling fresh and original while also having some of those domestic suspense elements we all love. So I did not think this was a spooky book. And I think I thought it was going to be because of what I've read about Hidden Pictures. And from what people are saying, Hidden Pictures is the spooky book. And I chose the one that's not spooky, but more thriller. So I do agree with that. I didn't think it was spooky. Now, I have not read Hidden Pictures, but that sounds like a good one for maybe next time. So I'm going to write that down, actually. Hidden Pictures. Maybe that's one we can throw on here in the next time. Mr. Jason Reculak. All right. So now let's get into my review of what I thought. So did I get sucked in or did it take a minute? Actually, I got sucked in. There was so much to learn. You got to learn about all the characters. You got to kind of be in different settings. So you're in Frank's life and then just this, this really nice UPS driver who Is just living his life. He's a widow. You didn't really hear about the sister yet, but I liked how it kind of started in this, just a normal, relatable family. Not that I'm a widow, but you know what I'm saying. And then, then you learned about Maggie, and then you learned about their relationship, and then it like eased you in to learn all of these characters. But yeah, I feel like I got sucked in. Now, I didn't get sucked in. One girl said that she was sucked in. She read the whole thing in one night. No, that would not happen because I need sleep. Who was my favorite character? Well, Frank, he was hilarious. To me, I thought he was really funny because he's like he's always trying to do good. And I like someone who is trying to do good. It reminds me of my husband. He always wants to do the right thing, but then he's put in this really hard situation, which I can completely relate to because, my boys, I got a 30-year-old and a 27-year-old, and they ain't grown yet. They just, they've been into trouble, and they're now starting to come around, but man, what the heck? And then I got a daughter who's like fantastic. And I'm not saying my boys are not great in their own way, but my daughter did things the right way. And I'm extremely proud of her. Now, I'm proud of my boys because they're doing better. But man, they took a long time to get going. I don't know what it was because, all of the bad influences that I grew up with, I took them away from that. Like, we moved 4 hours away to not have them grow up with any of them. Like, they don't know my family. They're just now meeting my family as adults. Slowly, because there's certain ones that, they're able to make their own decisions. They're adults now. So that's what I'm saying. This is crazy. But like, I didn't want them to grow up around them, but I wanted them to understand, like, and be responsible young adults, and then make their decision on how they wanted to interact with my family. Because the family is my family, so I'm going to interact with them the way that I see fit. But I didn't want them to be, at a young age, grow up with that family, and then think that it's, acceptable, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. Life is hard. We do the best we can. And I think that's what I kind of related to him about. Mental health is a big issue, I feel like, with Maggie, and Abigail as well. And Frank may not have some of the issues that Maggie had, even though it sounds like Maggie grew up in a really nice family. And my boys struggle with mental health, and yeah, it is just different, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. And I don't know. I don't know anything. I just, I live life and I try to make the best decision I can. That's all you can do. So anyway, not to get into my whole personal life, but I did really, really relate to this book. Not that my kids are murderers, just saying. But I did really like Frank. And Maggie, I was not sure of, and I never really was sure of her until the end. I did think, like, the whole time, I was like, what the heck is going on with Aiden? Like, what is his problem? Like, is there something going on between him and his mother? Gross. Why are we not seeing the mom? Like, I was wondering why Arlo is making all these excuses for him. Like, why does he not want to be around his wife and the friends? Like, well, I don't know if I want to be around her friends, but like, there was all these things going on in my mind. And that Jerry character, the lawyer, what was up with him? He was shady. You could tell from the beginning. He was shady. So yeah. And then, like, there's there's dead people happening. There's dead people. Why are people winding up dead around this family? There's obviously a reason, but I didn't think it was predictable. I did think it was a pretty unpredictable book for some reason, because I felt like it was going in a different direction. However, when Frank went to Maggie's cabin and she heard some noise in that bedroom. Bro, do not just open the door and go in there. Gross. Come on. And I knew. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what is happening. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, she's sleeping with him. Gross. Oh my goodness. Why would you be marrying somebody you're sleeping with the father on? But then I didn't realize the reason why. And then I was like, oh Lord, she's messed up. She need to get away from that family. So yeah, it was just a crazy book. And these are my opinions. These do not have to be yours. I'm not going to say anything. In my head, I'm thinking of something, but I'm not going to say it. But like, yeah, I mean, that's everybody else's business. If, you guys, choose a different lifestyle. That's to each their own. I am one person who I let people live the life the way when they want to live it, but there are consequences. But yeah, that was crazy. And then Frank, when he was coming into the Osprey Spring Cove, and they were going, like, I could see it in my mind. I pictured this car driving in this circle, and then he realized he's dressed like the gardeners, but not the gardeners, the family, but the actual gardener team. That cracked me up. And I loved how Frank was always fired up on something. That was hilarious. And Hoo-Ho. That was the other character. That dude, someone needs to kick him where the sun don't shine. That dude was crazy. How was he so calm in some of those situations? I would have been freaking out. I definitely couldn't have done his job. But no, I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down about Aiden because I was like, how did he get them bruises? What were him and Gwen talking about? Like, I thought he was doing something gross. And I thought that the father was making Aiden marry her. I did think that because he was trying to cover for his son and Maggie was just getting the benefits. That would have been a better situation than what actually happened. With nobody dying. But no, that's not what was happening. I was like, why is he in there with his mother all the time? Is him and his mom? Ooh, gross. Like, what's happening there? I don't know. Something's happening. All families have secrets. Just saying. But yeah, I didn't see the ending coming. I had my mind probably more in the gutter, unfortunately. Let's see. Tammy. I didn't like her. She was very, I agree. She was annoying. I didn't really like her. But you know what? I like that they put that character in there. Because you kind of needed somebody to be like that. And then, I do not want you to answer this question, but answer it to yourself. Would you have kept those shares if you were in Tammy's position? And I don't want people to judge anybody in here. I don't know what I would do, honestly, if I was in her position and that was given to me. I really wouldn't. But Frank's a hero, man. He got that all figured out and he took care of everybody. He took care of Maggie. He took care of his sister. He took care of Abigail the best. I did not expect Abigail to be the last one at the wedding. And I felt so sad for that little girl. Number one, could somebody please go get something to fix that lights in her hair? Good Lord. That is ridiculous. But I do love how Frank warmed up to her and they became best little friends. I just think that's the cutest. I love that. All right. So I don't know how everybody feels about the book. But I really, really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I was a little disappointed because it wasn't spooky, but I'm going to give this one the highest one that I've had because I enjoyed reading it the most. And I'm going to give it a 4.5. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it was extremely well written. The only thing is I wish there was some spooky, it was more spooky, but for what the story was about, I think it was almost perfect. So I don't know. read it. Let me know what you think. Or if, obviously you shouldn't be listening to this if you've read it, if you haven't read it, because this is a spoiler, right? But I would love to hear what you guys think. And I'm seeing these little trees here and I want to paint them. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great and wonderful, wonderful weekend. I am so glad it's Friday. And yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.